So, who wants to look at some case studies? There is nothing more exciting than seeing what can be achieved, in my opinion. So, I'm going to share a couple of case studies now of some deals that I have done. These are some rent to rent deals, just so you can see the figures. And then later on, again, I'll just slip some more deal examples in, just so you can again see more and more as you get a taste of what is going on. So, let's have a look at a couple of case studies. So, what we look at first is what the due diligence said. So to begin with, this is a property and apartment in Ipswich, over the marina. So it's a 2-bedroom apartment with a lounge, kitchen, dining area, 2 bathrooms as well. Marina location not far from a city centre. Hotels are nearby. So one really important thing, can't remember if I've said it before, is if there are hotels nearby, I believe I have, then this is a great sign that there is demand there, because hotels do not get started in the area without spending a lot of time on due diligence. The landlord was happy with a 2-year let, which we come into the end of this month. Don't see any reason why it won't extend. And the estimated setup costs were $2,700. So this was furnishing and getting started with the landlord. So due diligence, this is what it said. So average night was £100 for 2 guests, occupancy 70%, bringing 2,100, rent to landlord 800, and then these are operational costs, which gives a profit of 70% of £228. So based on what I said before, obviously it depends what happens at 50%, but at 70% wasn't looking that great. But this is basically would give us a break-even point of 11.8 months, so 101.33%. So this was the 4th deal that we took on, and some great return on investment there, 101%. So just under a year to get your money back out, but slightly more than we would have anticipated. So why would we actually take this on? So let's firstly look at what actually happened. So actual costs were about £3,000. That's the difference to begin with. So average night, a lot less, £75 per night, but we had 100% occupancy. So the reason that is less per night is because we reduced it because there was less turnover, less cleans needed, and 100% occupancy. Rent to landlord stays the same, operational costs came down. So we actually had a profit at the reduced rate of £75 of nearly £900 per month. So this was completely different, which actually gave us a break-in point of 3.5 months, or just under 340%. So basically within 3.5 months, we had all our money back out. So this is the difference between, obviously, the due diligence shows you, does it work at this certain case scenario, but it could be even better. So factoring into that, could be slightly worse, it could be even better. This one, amazing, 3.5 months, all our money back out. So for basically 20 months, 21 months, we've been pure profit in this deal, apart from the odd kind of time where we've had to put a bit more money back into it to kind of redecorate and stuff like that because of the maintenance that's needed. That's what we've looked at continuously. So why would we obviously take this on if that's the case, is something I'm going to go into shortly. So which is full, did that due diligence, 2-bed apartment, this time slightly different location, 2-bed, 2-bathroom again though. This one we paid a sourcing fee for. So I'm going to touch on sourcing deals from agents in a separate video, because I just want to make some key points on this. But if you do the right due diligence yourself, then that's what the main thing is, to make sure you're happy with the deal, not just trusting what they say. So again, £90 per night, who's looking at a profit of about £155 per month. So generally would not take this deal on, but we did. So basically that would have had a break-even point of 28 months, which would not be good enough for me. But the reason we actually took it on was this was a source deal from a company who were stepping away from serviced accommodation to do more purchasing on and refurbishments. So we were happy to take it on as long as we could see their books. So back in 2020, we basically looked at their profit and loss for basically the year. So we could see what was the average they were making. You can see 800, 400, 500, 1,000, 900. A loss there at the end, but that's because of different reasons, which basically means sometimes the rent, as you can see, the rent came in different months. Sometimes they might not have been paid that month, been paid the next month. So when we looked at this, we were a lot happier with it, because even though our due diligence was saying, okay, you can only make £155 per month, we could clearly see they'd be making 900, 500, nearly 600 pounds along the way. These ones split between there would make that a profit as well. So we were like, brilliant, it looks really good, happy with that, and we took it on ourselves. So this is what actually happened, and which we could see what they were doing actually factored into as well. we had 87% occupancy, so average nightly rate of £100. Paid the rent to the landlord, operational costs including cleans, and that's 768. So we made over £1,000. So what the due diligence said and what actually happened can be very, very different. So you want to make sure that you're happy with the due diligence of the worst case scenario, knowing that you could make a lot more, because your due diligence should be factoring in that worst case scenario for you. So in this instance, we actually 4.5 months to get our money back out, 286% return on investment. So if you're going to be taking on a deal from a previous provider, because some providers do step away for different reasons, want to change what they're looking into, want to step away from a property to kind of take on a new deal or something like that, or just step away from the industry, then it's a great thing to do, but make sure you do your research on the property, get their profit and loss, make sure it stacks up so you can really see what is happening. Yeah, so really useful to see that can be completely different. It can be even better than you actually imagine. Obviously, it can be worse though as well. So just factoring this in. This is obviously a rent to rent. So the rent to landlord, if you were buying, would be different, would be less than that because rent's always more. But when you stress testing, it might be very similar figures in there as well. But they are just a couple of scenarios for you. I hope you found that useful to see. And I will come back and do some more example deals of what I've done in due course.